So many people have come to me and said that becoming a social media manager is their dream job. And there are a lot of people that want to get started in this field, but they really don't have any idea how to get started. They're unsure of what experience they have, they're unsure of what their day to day tasks would look like, and they're unsure of how to create a portfolio that will actually get people's attention. I'm going to walk you through all of this step by step so that you can get hired as a social media manager. So make sure that you keep watching. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Chris, and this is my channel, Crush It with Chris, where I help entrepreneurs be seen and heard on and offline. If you've never heard my story before, I'll talk about it real quick. When I quit my 9-to-5 job, one of the sources of income that I was able to implement was becoming a social media manager. I actually have clients that I do social media management for, and I'm very grateful for it because it actually helped me not have to rely on my 9-to-5 job anymore. So it has been a godsend, and I really, really appreciate it. And I want to pay it forward and help other people who maybe want to replace their 9-to-5 income or who just have this dream of becoming a social media manager. So we're going to walk through it in this video. And I want you to rest assured that if you are a beginner, it is okay. I was a complete beginner with no experience. I'm going to let you know some workarounds so that you can still get the job, even if you don't have a lot of experience. So depending on what type of social media management job that you have, there could be a number of different tasks such as building content calendars, coming up with content ideas, scheduling content, doing copywriting, doing influencer marketing, making graphics. And this might sound really intimidating if you haven't done it before, but practice makes perfect. So you kind of learn along the way, and there's so much tools and information out there that can really help you feel more confident in your abilities. So we'll talk about that. Because these companies and these brands are going to be relying on you to be their go-to person to help out with their social media, there is a level of knowledge that you will need to gain at some point, and it's okay if you don't have that right now, but you can actually start gaining that knowledge through online education and different programs that are out there. So I'll tell you what some of those are real quick. Google and Facebook have some online education that you can actually take advantage of to learn the ins and outs of social media and being a social media manager. So that would be a great place to start. And of course, also YouTube and just watching other social media managers and what they do, how they learn their skills, and actually practicing. One thing that I did for my knowledge especially was practicing on myself. So posting various different types of content, getting my own results, right? Posting video content, posting short form video, posting longer videos, and just learning how to create graphics, learning how to create thumbnails, how to structure my videos so that I can guide my clients on what to do and not do in their content. General skills that most companies look for is someone who has an overall understanding of these different social media platforms. So the main ones that people ask about are Instagram, TikTok is becoming a big one too, LinkedIn and Facebook. And sometimes people want help with their blogs and scheduling and writing the content for their blogs, which ChatGPT makes that so much easier now, even down to using ChatGPT to write captions and to write newsletters. There are so many different tasks that they might be looking for. It just really depends, but you can really start educating yourself by just dabbling in some of these different social media platforms so that you can really show up with confidence and just tell people, let them know that you can help them because you have all of this knowledge, but you want to continue to develop it. You want to continue to develop your knowledge over time because social media is always evolving. The algorithms are always changing. So you want to stay up to date in the news and what's happening with these social media platforms so that you can know how it affects you and how it could potentially affect your clients. So, always just make sure that you're educating yourself on how everything is working on these particular social media platforms. If you are a creative person, that is definitely a great skill to have and one that will come in handy with social media management because you do need to get creative. You need to come up with new ideas month to month. You don't want to always just rely on the client to tell you what it is that they want you to create content around or talk about on social media, because if they are hiring you, chances are they don't really have the time to dabble in all the social media stuff, and they're probably not an expert. They're hiring you because they're looking to you for their guidance, for your guidance and your expertise. So creative is definitely a big one to help you come up with different ideas. You should also know how to check things like the analytics, and that is important because you want to look at the data so that you can see if you are creating content for someone, what type of content is really performing well and outperforming everything else. So once you have educated yourself, you've learned more information about the different platforms, how to get started, you want to create a portfolio because this will be needed in order for you to actually apply and get these jobs. So basically your portfolio, and I'll show an example, should be comprised of a few different things. You want information about you and why they should hire you. You want to include any previous partnerships or clients that you've had. Any before and afters are going to be super helpful and shows people that you know what you're doing because you've helped grow an account. And a little tip, if you don't have any previous clients, I mentioned earlier that it's good to get results for yourself. That is actually what really helped me get in the game, because I didn't have a lot of clients because I was working in a totally different field unrelated to social media management. So what I started doing was growing my own social media accounts, and then I was able to use those results, the analytics, and putting screenshots of those inside of my portfolio. I use Canva to make my portfolio, and I just recommend it so much. It's so user friendly and they have some great templates. So basically go to Canva, type in portfolio or media kit, and just see what options you like and that really go good with your brand. And you can change the colors and all of that, but find a template that you like and start dragging and dropping your information. So include stats, previous partnerships, before and afters, and then also information about your services. So the different packages that you offer. Don't include too many packages because it'll confuse people. I always say try not to give more than like 3 options, because anything more than that, they're not going to remember and they're just going to feel extremely overwhelmed, and then they might not make any decision at all. So keep your package options maybe down to like 2 or 3 things, and try to specialize in something. I wouldn't get into the habit of trying to recreate or create new package just to appease whoever you're having a conversation with, because then it's hard to create structure in your business and you'll be all over the place. So it's good to have a couple of different options, but not too many. And then of course you want to have a way for people to get in contact with you. So you want to include your contact information inside of the portfolio as well. To find opportunities, there are a number of different places that you can check. If you are starting out and say maybe you don't have any results for yourself yet, don't rule out doing a possible internship or maybe giving someone a free 30-day trial or something like that. I wouldn't do much longer than 30 or 60 days and get some results for them, add that to your portfolio. So that's a great way to get your foot in the door if you have absolutely no results. But don't get into a habit of doing a lot of free work for people for too long, because your time is money and what you offer and your knowledge is valuable, so you want to get paid for it. So if you need a couple of free trials to get you started, don't be afraid to do that, because it's a good way to get your foot in the door, because you will be asked, okay, who have you worked with? What kind of results have you gotten? And it's an uphill battle if you don't have that to present, because then you're kind of trumped, right? When other people who are applying for these jobs have results, have previous partnerships and results. So just make sure that you have something, some type of before and after or results that you can show in your portfolio. But when it comes to actually finding the companies, so you have your portfolio, you're ready to get hired, there are a few places that are great to look. LinkedIn has a ton of opportunities in social media management that you can apply to. And if you just type in social media manager, social media in the jobs section, you'll start seeing the most recent jobs. I wouldn't apply to anything that was posted more than like 2 or 3 weeks ago, because they probably already have a ton of applicants and maybe already have an idea of who they want to follow. So you want to look for opportunities that are a little bit more recent, and instead of just applying to the job and just sending off a resume, you can find who posted the job, and if you are able to find that person, send them an email and talk about why it would be better to hire you as a freelancer instead of maybe a full-time person, because you are maybe more economical than hiring someone full-time. You won't need benefits. And also you're really good with time management because you are a freelancer versus maybe someone if they were to hire full-time 40 plus hours a week. Other places that are worth checking out, Upwork is another good way to get some experience, because those are people who are looking to hire someone right now. And you can, even if you don't want to use Upwork as like a long-term approach, you can still use it to just get some initial testimonials or some results for people. So that's one place that you can look. And check out sites like Crunchbase to find startup companies, because startup companies, a lot of them, especially like tech companies, they have, in many cases, they get funding and they have budgets, and they're looking to spend that budget. They need to spend that budget, and you can reach out to those places and make some recommendations about their social media. Just make sure that when you are applying to these opportunities, like, make sure that you are presenting yourself in the best light. Make sure you mention any certifications that you have, right? So we talked about there's Google and Facebook and different platforms where they have some education. So talk about any certifications, any wins, any recent results that you've gotten, if you've worked with any big name companies, especially if they're very similar to the people that you are reaching out to. And that's why it's great to pick a niche if you can, because you can get results for one company and then you can start going after similar companies, and it makes it so much easier to get that yes. And that is a great approach. And also you'll be able to know what works in that industry so that you can kind of apply those same strategies to your other clients, versus if you have 5 different types of companies, like completely different types, you're gonna have to do, a lot of different work and try different stuff for each one. So that's where picking a niche really comes in handy once you do get started. But these are my tips for finding a social media manager position. You have so many opportunities out there, but definitely one of the most important things is just getting that education and experience, and then from there creating that portfolio that is really, really well put together, that showcases you in the best light and shows exactly what you're capable of. And it's very clear and concise and straight to the point. Don't put too much fluff in it, too many pages. Just make it very straight to the point. If you are actively putting yourself out there, then people will start to book calls with you to learn more about how you can potentially work with them. So I hope you found this helpful. Alright guys, that's the end of this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you'll be notified when I post my new videos. I am going to be posting a lot of new side hustle and social media marketing tips in my videos that you don't want to miss out on. And make sure that you share this video with any aspiring social media managers who need to see this. So, alright, I'm going to wrap this video up and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!